Welcome to Moments with Marianne. This is your host, Marianne Pastana. And we're here today with special guest, Jason Alderman, Managing Director of Smart News. So when it comes to getting information, a new survey reveals Americans across the political spectrum are deeply concerned about misinformation. In fact, a strong majority of California residents say they believe misinformation is more widely spread now than during the past presidential election. The survey also reveals a significant impact that AI is having on the spread of misinformation. So how can you tell fact from fiction? I think that's a really good question. Here with more and how to tell news from the noise is Jason Alderman, Managing Director of Smart News. So welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having me, Marianne. Really appreciate it. This is such an important topic.
Oh my goodness, it's such an honor to have you here to talk about this. And with November 4th being a big election day in California, especially with Prop 50 top of mind, can you share with us the survey and what it reveals about people's feelings regarding the information out there right now?
You're absolutely right. The Prop 50 election, probably the biggest off-year election that California has had ever. The eyes of the world are on the state right now. And, that is good in theory. The downside it means is there is so much misinformation that has been created to try to influence this election. And we conducted a survey at Smart News of Californians, and they're very worried about misinformation impacting the Prop 50 election. 94% of all California voters say they're worried that misinformation could impact this election. And Marianne, this is a bipartisan issue. 97% of California Democrats are worried about misinformation impacting the election next month. 94% of Republicans are worried. And even 74% of independents said they think that misinformation could have a negative impact on the election in November.
All I can say is, wow, those are some big numbers. And what really surprised you the most, aside from those numbers, about the survey?
I think the number that surprised me the most was we asked if Californians were seeing more misinformation, and the answer was yes. I mean, think about it. A year ago was this historic presidential election. There was so much misinformation, a tsunami. It felt like we were drowning in misinformation. And yet 67% of Californians said they're seeing more misinformation around this election than last year. And that just had me gobsmacked.
Well, I can understand. I mean, AI, I think, is a big component to this. And so with AI, as we're talking about this, how are these concerns about AI, how's this going to impact the election?
I think you're absolutely right, Marianne. Think about just in the last year how much AI has really had an impact on our lives in all aspects and how advanced it's become. And then the scary thing is think about how AI can create misinformation. It can create fake audio, video, pictures, text in the blink of an eye. And unfortunately, bad actors are doing just that. They're creating volumes of this misinformation online and elsewhere. And people are really worried. We asked Californians, and they told us that 91% of them are worried that misinformation created by AI could have an impact on the Prop 50 election. And get this, only 10% of Californians feel like they're extremely confident in their ability to spot this AI created misinformation. So the gulf here is huge. 91% of us are worried, but only 10% of us know what to do about it. That is a huge problem.
I think AI has really changed that whole just the discussion. I mean, I have a hard time discerning what's AI and what's not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, you're so right. I mean, honestly, you can, with the right tools in about 60 seconds, you can have any celebrity, any historic figure saying whatever you want them to say in a way that, 5 years ago, we would have been shocked to discover that a hidden video of George Washington endorsing eating Oreos in the bathtub. Because we would have believed it because it was so good. Now, hopefully, most of us realize there are these tools that exist that could do this. But I guess I got a text from my father last week. He saw an AI video of Elon Musk. He thought it was real. And he was asking me why Elon Musk was doing this. And I had to explain to him that it wasn't real, that it was AI, but it was so good. And this is a man who worked in news. He worked for CBS News for decades, and he couldn't tell the difference.
Oh my God. Well, it just says what everyone else is going through with that.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, if it has made us all have to be experts. We all have to be our own fact checkers these days, and that's a real burden. But nobody else is doing that for us. And actually, I think about when I talk to people about how do you fight misinformation, how do you spot misinformation. I've created a little checklist for myself. I call it the facts, the FACTs, and just a way to help remember when you're consuming, listening, seeing content, it's a great way to remember, is this real or not? And the F stands for fake experts. Is the person who's telling you this, do they have a dog in the fight? What are they trying to sell you? Just because they may have thousands of followers online does not make them an expert. The A stands for anger. Is this content intentionally getting your blood boiling? C stands for conspiracy. If this is playing into a conspiracy theory, that is a huge red flag. And the T stands for trust. You've got to stick with trusted news sites, news outlets like KMET that you've been to before, that you know you can trust.
Well, I so appreciate you sharing the facts with us. I think that that's so important, and that's something I'm going to remember going forward. So, how has the perception of misinformation changed compared to the previous election cycles?
People are really worried. I think we are even more aware of this problem than we were a year ago. So between the fact that the AI is just creating this voluminous amount of junk content, and people now know that they're being manipulated. They may not be able to spot it in every case, but people understand that there are bad actors out there creating this information. So we have this fear. We know what's going on, but we just can't tell right from wrong. And so our anxiety factor is through the roof.
Are there like certain age groups or demographics that are more vulnerable to misinformation?
Well, we're all exposed to it. I think it is true that a lot of senior citizens who are less well steeped in the AI created junk can differentiate fact from fiction. But our survey also showed that a lot of Gen Z people are much more trusting of what they see on social media. They are not appropriately skeptical of what they see. So we really see at the extremes. Yes, the young people can differentiate AI slop in a way that older people can't. But then if it's their favorite influencer, they're going to believe whatever their favorite influencer says on X, regardless of the fact that the influencer has no idea what they're talking about, and they're just trying to sell them supplements.
That is something to really be aware of and really pay attention to. So, where can people go for news and information that they know they can trust?
Well, the good news is folks listening to this station are already there. They've already done the hard work. They're listening to a high quality news source. You can also go to Smart News. We have hundreds of different news outlets on our app from across the country. It is bipartisan, so you can really get information from across the spectrum.
So, what can our audience do to learn more?
You can download the free Smart News app at your favorite app store, or go to smartnews.com.
Well, Jason, thank you so much for taking the time to be on the show with us here today.
Marianne, I really appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Well, thank you, Jason. It's been such an honor to spend this time with you and to talk about your new survey at Smart News. Make sure to visit smartnews.com for more information. Well, we're at the end of our time today. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. You've been listening to Moments with Marianne, where we make every moment count.
In a single moment, your life can change. Moments with Marianne is a transformative hour that covers an endless array of topics with the best of the best. Her guests are leaders in their fields, ranging from inspirational authors, top industry leaders, and business and spiritual entrepreneurs. Each guest is gifted and a true visionary, a recognized leader in her own work, and while teaching others to develop, refocus, and grow, Marianne will bring the best guest and sometimes a special surprise. Don't miss this. You never know just which moment will change your life forever. Make sure to tune in and visit momentswithmarianne.com for more information.